In many European countries, colored eggs are a part of the Easter celebration. One Ukrainian Catholic parish in Ludlow is making sure that these old-time traditions continue. Steve Kiltanek has this report.
At St. Peter and Paul Ukrainian Catholic Church in Ludlow, an ancient art is being revived. Over 40 people have gathered after Sunday Mass in the basement hall to create Pysanky. These colorfully decorated eggs are a Ukrainian tradition that dates back to the pre-Christian era when Pysanky were thought to protect households from evil spirits. Father Andrei Kripp said one of the many legends surrounding Pysanky is when Mary Magdalene brought an egg as a gift to Pilate and told him of Christ's resurrection.
Pilate couldn't believe, and he said, "It's not possible, as it is not possible for this egg to turn into a different color." And at that moment, the egg turned into different color, and that's how it started, maybe shifted to the Christianity.
Another legend revolves around the crucifixion when the Virgin Mary left eggs at the foot of the cross. Supposedly, the blood from Jesus dripped down and colored the eggs a brilliant red. So Pysanky came to represent Easter and the resurrection. Olga Hepner, who was one of the instructors at the workshop, has been making Pysanky since her 20s.
Traditionally, the mothers, the women of the house, would get together at night when the children were asleep, so it was quiet and they could write these designs because they take a long time to make. You have to have a steady hand and you have to have a lot of patience.
The word Pysanky comes from the Ukrainian word pisante, which means to write. Easter eggs are therefore written in wax. Various regions and towns have their own traditional Pysanky colors, dyes, and styles. The different colors used in dyeing the eggs are symbolic.
White would mean purity or birth. Yellow would mean recognition and reward. Blue is for the sky. Green is spring, hopefulness. And red would be the divine love and passion of Christ. And black would be for eternity.
The designs also have special meaning. The cross represents the resurrection, flowers, springtime and hope, chickens, fertility, and the triangle, the Holy Trinity. The Pysanky workshop is the largest in the 3 years it's been held here. The event was free to all thanks to a grant from the Ludlow Cultural Council. Each attendee received a bag with all the Pysanky ingredients. The process begins with the egg being cleaned with vinegar to get any residue off. Then a design is drawn in pencil. Rubber bands are provided to make straight lines. A stylus, or in Ukrainian, a kiska, is heated on a candle. When it's hot, the kiska is dipped into beeswax, which melts and is drawn like a funnel into the cup. The beeswax is drawn over the shell lines, covering everything one wants to remain white. The egg is then dipped into the yellow dye first because it's the lightest color. After about 10 minutes, the egg is removed and dried. The kiska is heated again and the wax applied, this time to cover whatever color one wants to remain orange. The process continues with the egg submerged in a series of progressively dark colors, with the last color black or purple. The beeswax is melted off the eggshell, revealing a brightly colored and complex pattern. The entire process takes about 3 hours. Varnish can be applied to help protect and preserve the Pysanky.
We use a raw egg. We don't blow the egg out and we don't boil the egg. It's just a raw egg. And eventually the inside of the egg will dry up and most of your eggs will last a pretty long time.
Some of Olga's eggs are 40 years old. At Easter, Pysanky are given out as gifts to friends, relatives, or a priest who blesses them, or they can be displayed in the home. Natalie Wachowski has been making Pysanky for 45 years. She's taught a course in Pysanky making at UMass and at other area schools.
Just making the egg gives you a fulfillment. You feel more spiritual. And seeing the finished product, it looks so beautiful. You're there thinking, you really made this egg? All this work that you put into it, it did come out so pretty. So it just takes practice after a few years, and then the more you do it, the more relaxed and more comfortable you're doing it.
Well, it's very relaxing, and I like the symbolism in the eggs. You know, it'll talk about the Trinity, the wheat with the Ukrainian culture. Just it's relaxing and nice and spiritual, getting ready for Easter.
Nearly 2/3 of those who attended the workshop were not from St. Peter's and Paul's Parish. Hepner says this helps to ensure Pysanky will be kept alive and passed down to future generations.
Hopefully this will bring this tradition out into the public. More people will hear about it and see the beauty in our Pysanky, because they really are a beautiful tradition and a beautiful work of art.
Basically, it's a good time for other people to see our tradition, to see what we do, and also to see our church and maybe learn something new about our faith.
The traditional Ukrainian art of the Pysanka is alive and well at this Catholic Eastern Rite Church. For Real to Real, I'm Steve Kiltonic.
If you're interested in creating these beautiful eggs, St. Peter and Paul Ukrainian Parish plans on offering the workshop again next year. But because of the success of this year's class, get on the list early, as it's sure to be a sellout again.